from here? Yeah. Are you listening, darling? Look what we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look what we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look what we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look what we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. Of course, my name is AJ, one of the mentors here, and today we will go through the Bitcoin technical analysis. As always, we will take a look at what is going on, what I'm looking for. Of course, those next trades, all of that good stuff. So if that does sound interesting, then please do make sure you smash that thumbs up button. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you, of course. But yeah, we will jump straight on into it. I'll try and keep it a bit shorter today as well, because I do understand that we're not really seeing much change. Okay, we're not really seeing much change. So like I said, I will try and keep it a little bit shorter, and of course, talk about the important things that we need to be remaining aware of at this moment in time. But enough of that. Let's jump into the charts and walk through everything, right? So first of all, just because this is one thing that I haven't done today, I'm a bit busy, so we are going to run through these naked points of control quickly and just see, right? So we've been looking at 6,500, so that's where price has actually bounced off of really nicely, right? We've also had this naked point of control up here at 67,345. Pretty certain that has been tapped. 67, 350. So yeah, we've tapped that one. Not really a level 11. Not really an interesting naked point of control. 600. Let's just double check, but certain that one has been tapped as well. Okay, so 67, 300 has been, but we can just double check this one. 57,850. We've got that one as well, so we can get rid of this. We can get rid of that one. So yeah, this one, I mean, this one's been tapped, but still something that we could look at, right? Let's do that. Okay, so we've got another tap one, just so that we can clearly see that it is tapped, because that's where we're bouncing from as we speak, right? That's where we're bouncing from where we speak. And then there's this one here as well. That one, of course, is tapped. Okay, so that's where we've rejected from. Of course, this is where we're bouncing from. Of course, we do have this VWAP from the recent low, okay, and that's actually been holding price up pretty successfully. So this is going to be an important level that we can go over today as well. Quick look at the stock market, okay. Of course, it has been pulling back, bit of a move up. Of course, Bitcoin has just followed that, and that's Bitcoin following it to a T, right? And then what else? Let's just we've got negative put in control from yesterday at 66,300, which is untapped. Let's just see where we're at here. 66,300. Okay, so could be interesting for a intraday. We'll look at it. Okay, we'll look at it. But yeah, just wanted to do that quick because I understand I hadn't done that today. But yeah, so of course we very much know, okay, that we've been in this very, very big downtrend for 7-8 months now. Okay. This very big downtrend, right? And we've been talking about that 70k level. Getting above that 70k level would be, of course, invalidating this, right? Because technically, we're still in this downtrend. Okay, yes, we are in this bullish trend here, this uptrend. Okay, a little bit higher time frame, but a bit more locally, right? But on the larger time frame, we are still technically in this bearish downtrend, right? Just to show this to you, right? Of course, you've got your high, your low, your lower high, your lower low, your lower high, your lower low, your lower high, lower low. This is still technically a lower high, okay? And there is still, again, it's like I was saying yesterday, right? It's on the very edge of the table, but it's still on the table, okay? The cards are still on the table for possibly another, of course, move down for another lower low. That is something, of course, right? Maybe it's, like I said, on the very edge of the table, probability wise, okay? This isn't looking probable, okay? The probabilities for this aren't huge, okay, on this playing out, right? But again, it's still something that we have to be aware of and we cannot ignore, right? Once we get above 70k, right, that's when we can kind of ignore this bearish structure here. Okay, right. It doesn't completely invalidate, of course, a big pullback, right? Because those are things that we inevitably see, right? Especially in conditions like this where everybody is so bullish, right? A big pullback isn't something that is it's not something that's uncommon, right? But yeah, like I said, if we get above 70k, this of course is just decreasing that bearish scenario. Okay, it is decreasing that bearish scenario and kind of filling us up with more confidence for upside, right? So yeah, getting above 70 very, very important, and I think that is possible, right? I do, like I was saying yesterday, as long as we remain in this bullish trend, okay, as long as we remain in this bullish trend, so we remain above $58,800, okay, I'm quite confident that we're going to take out 70k. We could look towards all-time high as well, right? But again, right, we need to remain trend, okay, and we need to break this much higher time frame bearish structure. Okay, now from here, I'm kind of looking for a bit of a pullback. What I want to see doesn't mean we're going to see it. Absolutely not. Am I trading this because I want to see a price pullback? Absolutely not. Okay, this is not something I'm trading because this is, of course, not a trade entry trigger. We've not been given a trade entry trigger here. Unlike the long trade from there, okay, the long trade from there, the short trade from there, the short trade from there, all of those, okay, there were trade entry triggers there. Up here, of course, we had a short trade open from here as well. That unfortunately did get stopped out, okay. but there was a trade entry trigger from there. Okay, up here there was probably a very small lower time frame trade entry trigger, but that's not what I'm kind of looking for at this moment in time. I'm looking for these bigger swing trades, right? So for me, yeah, okay, I would like to see lower prices. The reason why I would like to see lower prices is, of course, to get into a long trade, right? Because I understand what the trend is at the moment. The trend is bullish. The trend is up. Okay, so any pullback here is just an amazing opportunity to, of course, get into a long trade. Now, does it mean we just long a pullback? Okay, long price getting to this area here? No, of course not. Right, we've got to look for a reason for price to reverse in the opposite direction. Okay, so of course, what we were talking about yesterday quite a lot is, of course, we've got from the start of this bullish trend, we've got a VWAP. Okay, so that's of course, an area of support that we can look towards, right? We also have a GP786, okay, with a naked point of control as well, right? We've got that weekly naked point of control at 62,280. Okay, 62,280. So here, there's just amazing confluence right here, just absolutely amazing confluence for, of course, price to pull back, find support there, and reverse in the opposite direction, possibly going up to 70k, right? But of course, the icing on top, the icing on the top, the cherry on top, okay, whatever you want to call it, right, is of course looking for the order flow to align with that support, right? So of course we want to look for absorption, okay, kind of like what we're seeing, what we saw, back here, where of course price was looking very bullish, right, forming this very bullish structure, whereas the delta, okay, was building negative over time, right, meaning that more sells coming into the market on this pullback here than there was on this pullback here. However, price is holding that bullish structure. It is holding a higher price, but there's more sells coming in, right? What does that tell us? Well, that tells us that there is a big player absorbing all of these sells, right? And once all of those sells get absorbed by this big player or big players, whoever it may be, okay, price tends to reverse in the opposite direction, i.e. up in this scenario. Okay, and that's exactly happened here. So if we are to see price, of course, pull back here, right, we see lots of negative delta building over time, right? And we start to see, of course, that CVD, coming back below, around 500 million, below like 510 million, let's say. 515 million negative, sorry. So negative 515 million. Once we get below there, right, and price is still looking bullish, i.e. it's in its bullish structure, okay, then this gives us a really good opportunity to, of course, look for that long trade if, of course, we are in this area, right? Because we know that there is a big player absorbing all of the sells that will be coming into the market, right? We've seen it here, okay, where price reverses in the opposite direction, and we saw it back here as well, where price reverses in the opposite direction, right? Both of those were caused from absorption, right? So if we were to see it again, I would be looking for a really nice long trade to take that up, and of course, continuing this structure that we are in, which of course is the bullish, right? So we can be looking for, of course, that higher low, okay, to take us up to another higher high, which of course is looking up towards 70k, just above 70k, 71k, right? Where of course we can possibly look for a short, for a bit of a pullback. There may be a long trade to take that up, right? We can literally just trade the trend, okay? Exactly like over the past 7-8 months, we've been trading this bearish trend here, right? Where we've been shorting these highs up here, okay? We shorted each and every one of these highs, okay? And then we longed each and every one of these lows as well. Okay, why? Because we were trading a trend. We can do the exact same thing here, and we pretty much have been doing the exact same thing here because we shorted this one here, we shorted this one here, right? I didn't long this, okay, and I didn't long this, but there were 2 long trades from there, and I gave those long trades here on YouTube, and I gave those long trades to the team in the daily market updates as well, right? However, for me, right, when those long trades presented themselves to us, it was at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I was asleep, right? But we planned, right? We planned those, okay? So exactly like we've been doing, right? We've been in this trend here. I will continue to trade this trend until that trend ends. Okay. And, at which point the trend comes to an end, of course, is if we break, that bullish structure to bearish structure. And that's when we can looking for a big, big pullback, right? So that's kind of my plan at this moment in time, right? That is kind of my plan, and that is what I'm looking for. For this area here, I mean, I said a little bit earlier, 66,300, could that be a level of interest for a long trade? I can tell you now we're probably looking at a GP 786 in that area, pretty much, yes. But are we seeing absorption on these lower time frames? Where am I looking from here? So possibly, right? Possibly. I'd have to monitor it, okay? But we could possibly see absorption at this level. We could possibly look for a long trade off of 66,300, okay? I do think that's, there's an argument for a long trade off of that level, to be perfectly honest with you. So we'll just have to see how this plays out, right? Patience, okay? Not really in my eyes, the highest probability trade. Of course, I think it could be a high probability trade. Of course, we're looking at a GP 786. We're looking at naked point of control, and then of course looking for absorption. If of course we see absorption, then for me, that's a pretty high probability trade. But okay, in terms of where we are in the market, and in terms of where I'd prefer and where I think the highest probability trades would be, of course, that would be from a bit lower from this area here, okay, and a bit higher in this area here. Those are kind of the two main areas that I'm interested in. But of course, if you're looking at a time frame trade, right, it would be monitoring that $66,300 level and looking for a possible sign of strength there. If you see a sign of strength there, you could be looking for a bit of a long trade. Personally, for me, right, again, I would prefer to long this down here or short this up here. So that's kind of my plan, right? So that's kind of what I'm ready and waiting for, really. And we've also, of course, like I said, we've got that VWAP down there as well, which as price slowly moves down, we could see it slowly move up and meet where that GP 786 is and that naked point of control is as well. So of course that would only add to that confluence, of course, that we're looking for, right? So it can only be good. But I think stock market is having a bit of a pullback here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin were to follow it. But I think I will just leave that there, to be honest with you. I've spoken about my plan, right? I don't want to drag this on for too much longer. I understand yesterday we had a good conversation. We were speaking about some good things, important things, but today, like I said, I get straight to the point, no nonsense, and that was it. That's what I'm waiting for. It's literally patience from here, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see what key level we get to first, and then of course we take the trade if the trade is presented to us. So I will leave that there. I hope you gained some valuable information from this live stream, of course. If you haven't already, please do smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. Of course, if you are new, subscribe. I did say that I would do a $500 giveaway at 500 subscribers and $1,000 giveaway at 1,000 subscribers as well, if we get to those targets, of course. So make sure that you do subscribe. But again, I will leave that there. Have a lovely rest of your day. I've come live a bit earlier because I've got things going on this evening, so I thought I'd get this out of the way, make sure that I can do it for you rather than not doing it at all. So yeah, like I said, have a lovely evening from myself here in the UK, because yeah, it is getting to the evening. But yeah, take care and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home.